attendance is announced, but there are seats for almost 250,000 people at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All were sold for today's race long ago. With the infield crowd, perhaps 400,000 are on hand. The race is near now, but the nostalgic mood of the occasion was set a few minutes ago when Jim Nabors sang the song that makes us all Hoosiers for a day.
Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still burning bright through the sycamores for me. The new mown hay sends all its fragrance through the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the wabash, how I long for my Indiana home.
As always, the playing of Back Home Again in Indiana, really setting the scene and giving the feeling for the start of the great race. I'm Jim McKay reporting from Indianapolis. And as always, the real stories here are the personal stories inside each and every one of the 33 race cars. The great drivers are here. A.J. Foyt trying for a 5th Indy win at age 48. The defending champion, Gordy Johncock. Other stories like two brother acts, the Mears brothers and the Whittington brothers. For the first time in history, we have a father and son driving in the same Indy 500. Al Unser Sr. and Al Unser Jr. We have sons of famous drivers like Pancho Carter and Johnny Parson, a racing journalist turned driver, Pat Bedard. But with all of these stories, the central figure in the drama as of this moment is a 27-year-old Italian race driver who many people had never heard of when he came here early this month. His name is Teo Fabi, and at this moment, on his first attempt at Indy, he sits on the pole as the fastest qualifier in the history of the race. Let's bring in now the well-known American road racer, our expert in the booth with me, Sam Posey. Quite a story is Signor Fabi, huh?
Jimmy, certainly is. Fabi is an extremely accomplished road racer. He's won in the Can-Am, he's distinguished himself in Formula One, and running on an empty racetrack here at Indianapolis, in qualifying, he's obviously the class of the field. He has the pole. But today is another kind of day in the life of Teo Fabi. He must run in the traffic of Indianapolis, which is another matter altogether and a particular challenge for a road racer. Road racers do not make the passes on the outside of other cars very often, which you must be able to do here. Fabi doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't have a mental book on the other drivers that he's going to be racing against. That's a big drawback. And he's an Italian. He doesn't have, perhaps, a feel for this uniquely American race. But he is a great driver, Jim. I'm convinced of it. So today, the plot is, will his natural skills overcome his inexperience? I think it's going to be fascinating.
It certainly should be. Right now, then, let's check in with our man at ABC Race Central, 3-time world champion, Jackie Stewart.
Jim, Teo Fabi's time also excites me tremendously, particularly, of course, because perhaps he's a European. But his speed of more than 200 miles an hour also worries me greatly. I'm concerned that the type of accident that could happen here at the Speedway could be very serious to the future prosperity of motor racing. I frankly don't think we need speeds of more than 200 miles an hour. What I would like to see is the governing body bringing speeds right back down, perhaps 30 to 40 miles an hour. Because really, even for the expert, I don't think we, as experts, could see the difference between 150-mile-an-hour laps and 200-mile-an-hour laps, as long as all the cars were traveling at the same speed. If we were to do this, it would do two things. I think it would make a better spectacle, because racing perhaps could be closer. But more importantly, it would bring more back to the driver. At the present time here at the 500, it seems to me that the real stars are the cars, and really where it belongs is with the drivers and their talent. Now, a man who knows a great deal about this, particularly in the pits, and the pits are so important here at Indianapolis, is the editor of National Speedsport News, Chris Economaki.
I'm in the pole starter Teo Fabi's pit. Fear and trepidation are not words one hears from racing drivers, but concern is the way they euphemize, and concern is the word one hears talking to the 33 starters. It's because of the makeup of the field, fastest in Indianapolis 500 history. The difference between the fastest and the slowest cars, 24+ miles an hour. And then there's the makeup of that field. In the 7th row, Daddy on Guys is alongside Dick Simon. Their cars are 10 miles an hour apart in speed. And behind them, in 200-mile-an-hour equipment, are Kevin Cogan, Johnny Parsons, and A.J. Foyt. It's a potentially explosive situation, much like someone lighting a cigarette in a fireworks factory. And now down pit road to my colleague, Bill Fleming.
Thank you, Chris. I'm standing in Gordon Johncock's pit, and behind me is his fuel tank. Right now, that tank has exactly 240 gallons of fuel in it because there's 40 gallons in the car itself. That means a total of 280 for the race. Now, under normal racing conditions, it's going to look like 7 pit stops for each one of these cars, and that's why the teamwork and the precision is so important in the pits. Consider this one fact. A year ago, Rick Mears spent 10.5 seconds less in the pits than Gordon Johncock. Yet he lost the race by 16/100ths of a second. Somehow, if he could have squeezed an extra half a second out of that pit, he could have won. We'll be covering in timing all of the action down here today, and I think it will be exciting. Now let's join our colleague Jim Lampley in Gasoline Alley.
Thanks, Bill. As you know, the race is won and lost on the track and in the pits. So today, Gasoline Alley, the garage here at Indy, is a place where, for many men, a month of hard work and optimism will suddenly become an expensive broken dream. On this, my first trip to the Indianapolis 500, I'll try to bring you that side of the race. And my beat will also include the one place we sincerely hope not to visit today, the track hospital, which sits on the infield just a few hundred feet off the racing surface. Of course, in any crowd of more than 450,000 people, there are a lot of fascinating things going on aside from the race. For more on that, here's Ann Simon.
Well, Jim, this certainly is a spectacle. This is my first Indy experience as well, and as my assignment, I'll be roaming around these 559 acres of Speedway real estate to bring you, the viewer, the sights and sounds of Indy you have never seen before, because not only is this a sporting event, it's a social happening as well. Jim?
Well, after a threat of rain, the skies cleared about 40 minutes ago. The temperature's pleasant, the track lightning fast for the running of the great race. Let's set the field now for the Indianapolis 500. Sensation of Indy in 1983, sitting on the pole in his first attempt at the 500. A rookie here, but a seasoned driver on the road courses of the world. He's the fastest qualifier in Indianapolis history. Mike Mosley of California, number 18, drives in his 15th 500, still looking for his first victory. He has a history of hard luck, crashes, and broken equipment here. Only once, in 1979, when he finished third, has he been able to run all 200 laps. Now he has his big chance. Rick Mears, number 2, won the 500 in 1979. Last year, he sat on the pole for the second time, led the race for 77 laps. But in the end, he lost an unforgettable battle with Gordon Johncock, failing by 16/100ths of a second to catch Gordy at the checkered flag. Here's the second row. Tom Sneven, number 5, has finished second 3 times, has been the pole sitter 3 times. He was the first ever to turn a 200-mile-per-hour lap, but he's never won the race. Al Unser Jr. at age 21 is the fastest rising star in IndyCar racing. In car number 19, he'll be racing against his father. Never before have a father and a son driven against each other in this race. Bobby Rahal, number 4, has quietly made his way through the road courses for 10 years. In his debut last year, he finished a creditable 11th. Row 3 is relative row. Daddy Al Unser, number 7, celebrates his 44th birthday today. A 3-time winner of the race, sitting a row behind his son. Roger Mears, number 9, is the older brother of Rick. In his first 500 last year, he was taken out in the accident before the race began. Tony Bettenhausen, number 10, is the youngest son of the great driver who was killed in practice here 22 years ago. The 4th row features 2 former champions. Gordon Johncock, number 20, won the closest 500 in history last year, but has had car problems all this month of May. Mario Andretti, in his 18th 500, he seeks his second victory. Hard luck has haunted him here. Howdy Holmes was Rookie of the Year in 1979. Now he makes his 3rd appearance in his best starting position so far. Row 5, George Snyder, number 1, Pancho Carter, number 21, and Bill Whittington, number 94. Row 6, Chip Ganassi, number 60, racing writer Pat Bedard, number 35, and Mexican Jose Lagarza, number 55. Row 7, Steve Chassis, number 56, Dick Simon, number 22, and Danny Ungayas, number 25. Row 8, Kevin Cogan, number 16, Johnny Parsons, number 66, and four-time winner A.J. Foyt, number 14. Row 9, Chris Kneifel, 6 feet 6 inches tall, number 72, Jeff Brabham, number 12, and Don Whittington, number 91. Row 10, Derek Daly of Ireland, number 34, Scott Brayton, number 37, and Michael Chandler, number 29. And here, row 11, rounding out the field for the Indianapolis 500. In a minute, the start of the race.